Howdy everyone on YouTube. Thanks for tuning into the WatchBox review today. So in today's review, we're taking a close look here at my Casio MTG-900DA. You're seeing it here on my 63mm wide wrist, and I wear it right here across the flat, wide, bony structure of my wrist, and it's very, very comfortable. So I've owned this watch for about a year, and I've been very happy with it. So let's turn the camera around, head on over to the review table, and let's get going. So maybe you caught my other video commentary when I talked about my Moto 360 smartwatch. Kind of told a little white lie, a little white watch collector's lie, and I hope most of you guys didn't actually believe what I said. When I said, I've only bought one watch, I've only been wearing one watch for the whole year. Yeah, that's kind of true, but not really. So what made it false was the acquisition of this almost a year ago to the date. I think I got it in like January, or actually a little bit over a year ago. I take it back now. So I've had it since January, and it's been a great addition. As you can see, it is brand spanking new. I've worn it maybe a few times. It's got some desk rash there on the stainless steel bracelet just a little bit, and basically whenever I wanted a diversion from my smartwatch, this was the watch that I wore. I needed something a little more rugged, a little bit better water resistance if I'm taking it swimming, which I have done before towards the end of last fall, and this watch has been a great acquisition for me. Okay, so they crank this watch out by the millions, and they used to sell it at Costco for around $80, I believe. I think I got mine online, actually, maybe Amazon or Kohl's or one of those places. I think I got it for around $100, maybe $90. So it's a Casio, of course, G-Shock. It is one of their tough solar models. I've had two of these now. Now, you've seen my other video. So this is one of my oldest watches. Okay, I've had this one, this black one here, since about 2004, maybe 2005. And quite honestly, this sucker has been bomb-proof reliable. Okay, and I expect the same thing out of this one here. Okay, but the fact that, let me just ask this of you guys. How many of you have a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old watch? By show of hands. Okay, how many of those are quartz? Okay, of those, how many are running on your original OEM manufacturer battery? Okay, hands are going down, hands are going down. Unless you own one of these, or perhaps a Seiko Solar, or perhaps a Citizen Echo Drive. I gotta say, the solar recharge capability in modern quartz digital watches, or even quartz analog watches, nowadays is totally phenomenal. Okay, gotta throw out my Citizen Orca, standing ovation for that. My Citizen ProMaster depth gauge, dive gauge, big round of applause for that. But Casio has, I think, really earned a really good reputation for their solar recharge watches. Now, I was first exposed to Casio digital solar watches like in the early 80s. I mean, looking at the service merchandise and the best store, and the Sears too, Sears store catalog, and you see all those watches there. Casio had a whole line of digital solar recharge watches back then. Okay, so they don't have the marketing advertising campaign that Citizen has, but I don't think you can discredit that or discount Casio one bit, given my experience here with these watches. Okay, so I've had this, as old as this one is, I've had it swimming as recently as like a year ago, and it's been great. It's been great. So I expect no difference here from this one here. And I wanted something a little different. So all my Casios are all, G-Shock, they're rugged, they're rubber, they're sport watches. I wanted something a little more different, I guess. I wouldn't call this dressy. It's not a dress watch by any stretch, but it's just different. Okay, and along this, and it's different and the same. It still has the same Casio G-Shock rugged reliability. It still has the same solar recharge capabilities. This one here, as well as my gold one over there, these are solar atomic auto calibrating watches as well. So every night, like around 2 o'clock in the morning, I have this one to resync and set up with the radio atomic signals from Denver, Colorado. And because of that, it's by far, this one and the other one over there, they're by far my most accurate watches. Plain and simple. In addition to being quartz digital watches, they're also, because they're self-calibrating, they automatically calibrate. The calendars at the end of every non-31 day month, the calendars reset automatically. The daylight savings time changes change over automatically. It's basically a watch you don't have to touch. You just wear it. As long as you keep the battery charged, it'll do its thing, and you won't even think twice about it. Okay. That being said, you do have to place the watch kind of up on a windowsill and place it up so it tips back a little bit, and make sure you receive that radio atomic signal. So right now, as you can see, I'm not receiving any signal at all. So down by the 421 date, there's a little satellite dish symbol down there that when I go place it up on the windowsill, it fully illuminates and indicates the signal strength because of that. Okay, so it's a Casio G-Shock with a little bit of a fancy-ish twist, being that it's brushed stainless steel. It's a folded link bracelet with a fold-over clasp. Now, folded link bracelets are not my cup of tea. I just don't like them. They're clangy, they're clanky, they rattle quite a bit. But this one's been okay. It hasn't been my most rattle-prone folded link bracelet. So if you don't know what a folded link bracelet is, it's how the fabricator forms each one of these bracelet links. So a folded link, there you go, there's a good shot of it. A folded link bracelet is going to be made out of stainless steel sheet metal, where it goes through a bending and a forming and a grinding operation to form the actual geometry of the part, as opposed to a solid machined or even cast bracelet link that is prevalent on other watches. But for a Casio G-Shock, I think it's okay. It's passable because it's an active wear sport watch. The folded link bracelets are generally lighter and less weighty on the wrist, and that's no exception here. Now, given the active intent for this watch, that's actually kind of a blessing in disguise. Okay, so like all my other watches, it's a very wide, flat case shape profile, and it hugs and curves around my wrist very nicely. And I'm okay with the size on this one too. It's not too big, and I like that. That's very, very nice. I have other watches that are huge and really big, and they kind of get in the way, although they're fun just for the novelty of it. So this one is very nice as far as size and wearability goes. Okay, let me just scroll you through the modes. So here's regular timekeeping mode. Press it once. There's our world time. And you can simply scroll through Honolulu, Anchorage, YVR, LAX, which is the same as where I'm at right now here in San Francisco. And there you go. Scroll through all Denver, Mexico, Chicago, New York City, and scroll through all the different countries and time zones. Okay? Now, pressing the mode button one more time, it brings us to our alarm mode. Okay, and we have 1 alarm, 2 alarms, 3, 4, 5. Oh, snooze. There's a snooze feature there too. And we're back to the original. So I've got 5 alarms here. I don't even use them, to be honest with you, but I guess they're there if I need them. There's, of course, a stopwatch. Start, stop, reset. There's a countdown timer, which is great for counting down, your roast in the oven and all that good stuff. And I'm back to regular Friday timekeeping mode. What I want to do here is focus your attention to the battery charge indicator. Okay, so hopefully my focus will bring that in. But that's the HML little half circle on the top left. Okay, so right now I'm on high, and it's like all these charge indicators on Casios, they're kind of threshold based. So just because you see the H highlighted there, what that really means is your battery charge is like over roughly over maybe 70%. And again, when I say it's threshold based, that any charge above like 70% or so is going to trigger and eliminate that H indicator. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean you're at 100% battery charge. It just means you're within the limits specified there. Okay, so for what it's worth, I've never had a battery charge level less than like medium/high. So it's been very, very easy for me to maintain a full battery charge on this, as well as my other Casio Solar as well. So we're back here with the lights dimmed, and I want to show you guys the loom. So if you guys have owned Casio G-Shocks, you simply push the button, and there's your famous blue loom. And pretty standard for all Casios. What's nice about these watches is when you press and hold the loom button, it activates the auto loom feature. Okay, so there it's activated. So what that means is I'm wearing my watch, I'm doing my normal thing, and if I want to engage the luminescence, I simply turn my wrist up and it automatically illuminates. Okay, it's that 45-degree angle to your face that once you kind of train your wrist to do that, it becomes second nature after a while. And the cool thing about being a solar recharging watch is you can do this to your little heart's content, and yeah, it'll drain your battery a little bit, okay, but you just simply solar recharge the whole time, and it's no big deal. Once you get back out into the sun, or you place your watch on a shaded windowsill, these things recharge very, very quickly and very efficiently. So you don't have to worry about burning through batteries or anything like that, because it's a constantly replenishing electric circuit that's in there. So one thing about Casio tough solar watches is they generally don't like to be fully discharged. By that I mean basically try not to let the battery run all the way down. I don't know exactly what happens to them if they do. I have heard, or I have read on other forums, I've heard and I've read that, you know, if you let the battery die completely, they're difficult to resuscitate or recover or whatever. I mean, it's not as simple as just putting it out in the sun and letting it recharge. They can be hit or miss in that regard. Okay, now I've heard several stories about Citizen Echo drives. You know, throw them in a drawer and let them die completely. You can resuscitate those to some degree and let them recover, just put them out in the sun or wear it actively, and you can get a full recharge. Casios, I'm not sure. I can't, you know, I've read some commentary going both ways on the forums in that regard. So as a general rule for me, I just keep it on a shaded windowsill along with my other watches over there, and they're okay. So the one thing I don't do is I don't put them in direct sunlight if I don't absolutely have to. Okay, because it does get very hot. Even a cool indoor temperature windowsill with bright sunlight will still get pretty warm. Okay, and you can probably damage the gaskets and the plastics and some of the softer materials in any of these watches if you do that. So I try not to put them into direct sunlight for prolonged periods. I can't really say much more about this watch. I really like it. It's been a great addition to my collection. If you have like rubber, sporty, water sport type G-Shocks and you want to try something different that's still very, very sporty and very, very athletic wearing, hey, give this guy a shot. Once again, this has been a review of the MTG-900DA. And thanks again, guys, for tuning in, and I'll catch you later.